Welcome to the deep dive. So, if you're listening to this, you are probably already aware that yesterday, at exactly 4:00 a.m., the unthinkable happened in the tech world.
Oh yeah. It's still hard to believe.
Right. I mean, the most secure AI company on Earth, this $380 billion fortress of data that is literally famous for its safety first ethos, just left their front door wide open.
Wide open.
And it wasn't even a nation state cyber attack, it was just an accident. Today's Thursday, April 2, 2026, and we are unpacking a leak that has completely upended the software industry in like less than 24 hours. The complete source code to the world's flagship AI coding assistant is just, it's out there.
Yeah, it's a monumental exposure. I mean, we're talking about over 500,000 lines of highly guarded TypeScript code.
Wow.
Right. And for those who don't know, TypeScript is just, a language that adds strict rules to JavaScript so massive apps don't just break. But all of this, across 1,906 proprietary files, was exposed through one single 60 megabyte debugging file, a file that never, ever should have made it to production.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because our mission today is to figure out exactly what leaked, map out the absolute chaos that happened yesterday, and dig into the wild secrets discovered in this code base. And, what this actually means for the future of how you and everyone else writes software.
Yeah, because to really understand the significance here, we first have to look at how this leaked and honestly, the internet's lightning fast reaction. I mean, before the company even woke up.
Exactly. The way I've been thinking about it, it's like mailing someone a locked, impenetrable safe, but you accidentally just tape the combination to the bottom of the box.
That is exactly what happened.
Right, because developers usually minify their code before release, they compress it into this unreadable blob. But to debug it internally, they use a source map.
Yeah, the source map, which acts like a translation dictionary.
Right, and in this case, it was a file literally called cline.js.map, and someone accidentally bubbled it into the latest public update version 2.1.88.dsc on the NPM package registry.
Which is huge because NPM is the central hub. Millions of developers pull from there. So this mistake was instantly pushed globally. And there's speculation it was actually just a subtle error with their build tool, bun.js.
Which is just crazy, a tiny build error. And the timeline is frantic. 4:00 a.m., it goes live. Within hours, the leak hits 22 million views on social media.
Oh, easily.
And by the time the legal team in San Francisco actually wakes up and starts firing off DMCA takedowns, it's too late. The community had already used this massive copyright loophole.
Yeah, the workaround was ingenious because legally you can copyright specific written code. But what happens if you take that code and have an AI instantly translate it into an entirely different programming language?
Right, it's a massive gray area.
Exactly. Someone fed the entire 500,000 line TypeScript code base into a rival AI model and just said, translate this into Python.
And they called it Claude Code.
Claude Code, yeah.
It became the fastest repository in history to reach 50,000 stars. I mean, people were downloading it before the ink on the DMCA notices was even dry.
And they didn't stop there.
No.
People instantly slop forked it. They modified the code so it wasn't tied to the original company's AI model anymore. They made it model agnostic.
Called it OpenClaw.
Right, making basically every previous open source coding tool obsolete overnight.
But wait, I have to push back here. Isn't the AI model itself the really valuable part, the neural network on the servers? Why is this client application code such a massive prize?
That's a very common misconception with is that the AI model itself is really just an engine.
Okay.
It's powerful, sure, but it's basically just a chatbot waiting for a prompt. This leaked code reveals the highly guarded harness. End of it this way, the AI model is a brilliant Michelin star chef.
Right.
But the harness is the entire kitchen staff. The sous chef, the expediters, the runners. Without them, the chef can't run a restaurant. This leak just handed everyone the operations manual for the kitchen.
Oh, wow. So the harness is what turns it from a text generator into this autonomous coding powerhouse that can, execute terminal commands and read files.
Exactly. And when you look at the code base, you see this massive prop sandwich. It's an 11-step process from the moment you hit enter to when the AI outputs code.
11 steps for one prompt.
Yeah, and a huge part of it relies on a specific markdown file that gets loaded into every single turn of the conversation. Up to 40,000 characters of team guidelines.
Wait, so every time it thinks, it's being reminded of exactly how your team codes.
Every single time. It's relentlessly guided, but it goes way beyond that. The code shows 3 distinct execution models for spinning up subagents.
Right, the parallelism.
Yeah. First, there's the fork model. A subagent just inherits the exact context of the parent, so it's super fast parallel tasks.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have the teammate model.
Oh, this is the one that blew my mind.
It's crazy, right? Subagents literally communicate via a file-based mailbox in separate terminal panes. They mechanically mimic two humans chatting over Slack to coordinate.
That is wild.
And finally, the work tree model, where they operate in totally isolated Git branches so they don't overwrite each other.
But if you have all these agents generating massive amounts of text and chatting, how does it not just crash its memory winding? Or hallucinate?
That is the secret sauce. The leak showed 5 deeply complex methods of memory compassion. Knowing what to forget is how they maintain a 200,000 token window. First is microcompact.
Which is like sweeping out isolated tool outputs, right? Based on time decay.
Exactly, taking out its own short-term trash. Then there's context collapse. It takes a rambling 20-message chat and squeezes it into a tight 3-bullet summary.
Keeping the logic, ditching the filler.
Right. Then session memory, which writes overarching architectural rules to disk for the next day. Full compact is a total history reset. And then
PTL truncation.
yes.
Which stands for prompt token limit, right? This one caught my eye. It just aggressively chops off the oldest messages.
Yeah, but at very specific semantic boundaries, so the AI doesn't lose half a thought and break its logic.
Okay, that's brilliant. But if it's so smart, how does it handle human error? Like when a programmer just gets super frustrated and starts typing in all caps.
Well, the codebase actually has bizarre human-centric safeguards. There is literally a regex frustration detector.
I couldn't believe this when I read it.
It's real, and it uses regular expressions to match curse words in your prompt. If you're having a bad day and dropping expletives, it logs that you're frustrated.
Dynamically monitoring your emotional state.
Yeah, and then there's Undercover Mode.
Oh, right, this feels a bit sketchy.
It's explicit instructions telling the AI to never mention itself in Git commit messages. It's designed to make the code look entirely human-written.
See, I have to question the ethics there. If an AI is built to sneak past open source reviewers and it writes a terrible bug, how do you even track accountability?
It's an accountability nightmare, and the deception is aimed at competitors, too. They found anti-distillation poison pills.
Yeah, explain this, because this is wild.
So, rival companies scrape code to train their own models, right?
Right.
This code deliberately references fake, non-existent tools in its internal reasoning. If a competitor's AI learns from it, it learns to rely on tools that don't exist.
That is ruthless. Just ruining multi-million-dollar training runs.
Exactly.
But here's where it gets really interesting. The 44 feature flags. We basically got their entire secret roadmap.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's references to Opus 4.7, a new base model called Copiara, and Buddy.
Buddy is fascinating. It's basically a Tamagotchi-style companion for developers.
Which changes everything. You know, it's not a text box anymore, it's a digital to your work. But the feature that really stood out was Kairos.
The Greek word for God's time.
Yeah, it runs in dream mode, right?
Yeah. While the human sleeps, Kairos consolidates memories from the day and writes daily journals about the codebase.
Wow.
Preparing tasks for the morning?
It's total sci-fi. But while developers are geeking out over dream mode, enterprise security teams are having an absolute meltdown.
A literal nightmare.
Because the code exposes massive vulnerabilities. Let's talk about the .claude settings.json vulnerability. This is a zero-click exploit, right?
Yes. And it's terrifying because AI agents have so much privilege on your local machine. If you clone a malicious open source repo, the attacker can hide a fake settings file in there.
So if I'm a developer, I clone this repo, and then what?
Well, developers often run these tools in non-interactive mode using a -- print flag, meaning no pop-ups, no human approval needed.
Right, just a background script.
Exactly. The tool silently reads that malicious file which overrides your base URL environment variable. Instantly, all your API requests, including your paid API keys, are rerouted to the attacker.
Just silently stolen.
And you get zero warning. And what's crazy is the company's response.
Oh, right. They said it wasn't a bug.
They claimed it's documented and purposeful behavior, saying developers shouldn't run automated tools in untrusted repos.
Which is ridiculous because downloading untrusted code is literally modern software development.
Exactly, and attackers are already exploiting it. We are seeing a shadow AI crisis. The type of squatting on NPM is out of control.
Right, type of squatting. For anyone listening, that's when attackers register a fake package with a slightly misspelled name, right? Like taking audio capture nappy and changing one letter, hoping someone building OpenClaw makes a typo.
And once you install it, they have a backdoor into your machine.
And it's not just external threats, there's also context window leakage.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, this is a massive corporate data risk. The AI sweeps up local files to understand the project and inadvertently reads proprietary trading algorithms, passwords, .nv files.
And just sends them to a cloud server.
Exactly. And AI-generated code is already 62% more likely to introduce security vulnerabilities. Now, attackers have the actual blueprint to the agent.
Right, they can write hyper-specific prompt injections hidden in a ready file. The AI reads it, silently executes the malicious instructions, and the developer never knows.
It's really like the nuclear codes were just published online. The barrier to creating a world-class agent is zero now.
And there's this massive irony here. The timing is just unbelievable. Just as this leaked, which again might be from a Bund.js era, the company launched a new AI security product.
On the exact same day.
Yeah. An AI that finds decades-old zero-day vulnerabilities in C libraries.
Right, by reasoning conceptually about LZW compression algorithms, finding bugs that automated scanners missed for 20 years.
So their AI is securing the most complex code on Earth, while their human engineers accidentally leak the keys to the kingdom with a source map file.
It perfectly captures where we are with AI. The capability is vastly outpacing our operational security.
So what does this all mean? Like, for the listener, for the future of coding, we've seen the harness, the poison pills, the security nightmares. How does yesterday permanently change things?
The paradigm shifted. We are moving away from single prompt chatbots. The new baseline is highly orchestrated, multi-agent systems running on isolated Git branches.
The black box is smashed open, the open source community has the pieces.
Yeah. And enterprise security has to adapt. We need zero retention policies, AI data loss prevention, and we have to isolate these agents in hardened local environments.
You have to secure the AI, secure the data, and secure the code it writes, all while it moves 100 times faster than a human.
Exactly.
Well, I think that is a perfect place to wrap up today's deep dive. We started with a dropped combination to a safe and uncovered the blueprint for the future of software. To everyone listening, thank you for joining us. Keep an eye on your local settings files, lock down your API keys, and stay vigilant.
But before we go, I want to leave you with one final kind of mind-bending concept to mull over.
Oh, lay it on me.
Up until yesterday, the architecture for this optimal coding agent was a guarded human secret. Today, it is public.
Yeah.
So what happens tomorrow when a developer takes that leaked, perfectly optimized code base and feeds it directly back into an AI?
Oh, wow. Wait.
What happens when we instruct the AI to recursively analyze, debug, and improve its own underlying architecture without any human intervention at all?
Oh, man.
We might look back at yesterday not just as a leak, but as the exact moment the loop was finally closed.
The ultimate prompt sandwich. Something to think about. Catch you next time.